Hello there and welcome to VerminHuntersTV with me, Si Pitaway. Before I start, I'd like to say on behalf of both myself and Davy, a Happy New Year to all our subscribers. The channel's been going just over a year now and we're already over 6,000 subscribers, which is far beyond what we ever thought we would be at when we opened the channel up. Now this is all down to your support and help, and I thank you for that. Today on the show we're going to be doing a review of the Lawmate PV1000 portable digital video recorder that both myself and Davy's purchased to give the subscribers better picture quality, especially when we're filming at night through our scope with our night vision equipment. This review is going to be broken down into three parts. Part 1 will be me showing you the unit and what it looks like, and then talking about some of its characteristics. Part 2 will be me showing you what comes as standard with the accessories when you buy the unit, and part 3 will be broken down into another further 2 parts where I'll be showing you some daytime footage through the recording unit and nighttime footage. I would like to say though, throughout the whole of this review, no animals are shot. You will see animals through the scope because the camera we're using to record through is the NS200 from Night Sight. I would like to say though that the only 2 times that the rifle is shot, in fact the rifle is loaded with a magazine and pellets in the magazine, is once in the day and once at night when I'll be shooting on my 27-yard back garden range. For all the other times you see footage through the scope, the rifle's not loaded and there's no magazine in. The reason I'm saying this is because some of the animals you'll see on the review later on could raise a few eyebrows, and that's because we're looking at things like rabbits, birds of prey, pigeons, hares, geese, horses, and normally some of the animals I've just mentioned would never ever be in a scope, but please bear in mind the rifle is not loaded, and the only reason we are doing it is because we're using the Night Sight system, because that's the only system we've got to actually use at the moment to record through. So without further ado, we'll get straight on and start part 1. Welcome to part 1 of the review, and as promised, here's a view of what the Lawmate PV1000 unit actually looks like. As you can see, it's a nice small compact unit. It's got a 3.5-inch LCD screen here, what you can use for viewing what you're recording as you're recording, or what you've recorded at a later date in playback mode. Its dimensions, it's only 13 centimeters long by 8 centimeters high, and the width here is only a mere 2 centimeters, so it is a small compact unit. And this reminds me of my Samsung mobile phone that I'm currently using. Nice and compact, can fit in my pocket, I would never know it's there really, and it only weighs 265 grams without the battery, so it's that light, you don't really feel it anyway. For those who've watched the channel in the past though, you'd have seen we've used a different recording unit, and this is the Angel Eye. This was kindly donated to us by Malc at Country Pursuits TV, so thanks again Malc. And if people like looking at equipment reviews, especially to do with field sports and shooting, then please, if you haven't already, have a look at Malc's channel. I'll put a link in the description box what you can copy and paste into your web browser and it'll take you straight to Malc's channel. He's got a fantastic channel with a lot of equipment reviews on there and a lot of shooting footage. He's also a very good friend of mine and Davy's, and we do a lot of stuff together, both hunting and HFT. And I'm sure he'd appreciate it if you went on and had a look at his channel, and if you like what you saw, subscribed. So let's do a side-by-side comparison then. Here's the Lawmate again, and here's the Angel Eye. You can see the Angel Eye is smaller, and some people might say, well, they like a smaller actual recording unit. The thing is though, the picture quality from the recording of this to this is staggeringly different. For example, the maximum resolution according to the box on the Angel Eye is 720 by 576 resolution, which is good enough for you to use and record through, say, a Night Sight system and put it on YouTube, and people will recognise what you're shooting with it. Where it differs though is this unit. This has got a staggering resolution of 1280 by 960, which you can see now is a huge difference from this one. So the quality you get from this one is loads better than the quality from this one, and you'll see this later on as the review goes on in part 3. Where there is a difference though is also in price. An Angel Eye you will get from £60 to £90 brand new. The Lawmate PV1000 is £500, and some people will say, wow, that is a huge difference. That, you know, they're both recorders, but what this one can do is far more than what this one can do. Also, this comes with a lot of accessories which you will see in part 2. I'm now going to talk about where we got the item from, who manufactures it and who normally uses it. Well, the item itself was bought from a company called Dogcam Sport within the UK, and their web address is www.dogcamsport.co.uk, and I will edit that address into the clip a little bit later on, along with a screen print I'll do of their own page, and in the top right hand corner you'll see a telephone number, and you can ring that number if you want to speak to Dogcam Sport direct about the PV1000 or any of the other items what they sell. And they do sell other things like recorders, cameras and accessories for the cameras and the recorders. The item came from Dogcam Sport within 24 hours of our order, and it came very well packed in bubble wrap. It also came registered tracked through this postal system, so the quality and the services what you get from Dogcam Sport is second to none, which is really nice to see. The item itself then is manufactured by Lawmate, and Lawmate are an American company, and it says on the operation instructions that they're law enforcement product manufacturers. So the kit they actually produce is basically made for the USA's law enforcement agencies, and we're looking at things like the Coast Guard, the police force, the military, and to a certain extent things like the FBI and CIA. Why would they use them? Well, one, it's American, the system itself, and two, this is probably one of the best, if not the best, portable digital video recorders on sale in the world, and they're going to want to use the best they can. Also inside this system, as you'll see in part 2, there is a lot of actual software what's related to covert recording. Obviously on our review we won't be doing anything covert, and everything's overt we're doing, and we're just looking at it simply as going out and recording what we shoot through our scope camera and our night sight NS200. Other things then, what sets this unit out and makes it better than the smaller one. In this unit there is a 160GB hard drive. So for people who understand about hard drive sizes, they'll know for a small unit that's quite a big hard drive. Why is it so big? It's because if you have it set on its finest settings and best quality settings, if you only had a small hard drive inbuilt, you wouldn't get much recording time. So Lawmate have put a big hard drive in there, and you can turn all the settings up to the best quality, and you've got hours and hours and hours of recording. You can also, if you wish, and we have, put up to 32GB SD card into a slot on the side. And now don't worry if you can't see that at the moment, because in part 2 we'll do close-ups and you will see that. But what we have done is put a 32GB card in there. The reason we've done it is because we just find it easier to just pop the SD card out and put it in between mine and Davy's computers if we want to transfer footage we've taken. It just saves plugging in a USB cable, which you get provided with this, as you'll see later, and plugging it into a computer. Right, I'm now going to talk about some of the other characteristics it's got. It's only going to be broad and quick, because in part 2 we're going to, like I said, it will be in a lot more detail. We've said it's got a 3.5 inch LCD screen. This is a colour screen, and this, being American, will work on the American NTSC system as well as the European PAL system, so you can actually put the footage from this onto your telly if you wish, using the leads provided, and watch it on your PAL telly. The minimum resolution you can set it at through the settings is 320 by 240, and as we've said, the maximum is a staggering 1280 by 960 real time. Frames you can have from 1 frame a second up to real time, which is 30 frames per second. Real time is as I'm moving my hands now, that is real time at 30 frames per second. 1 frame a second would mean that every 1 second it would take like one picture quickly. every 1 second. On 30 frames it's taking 30 a second, and then obviously putting them together, which is making video movement. The bitrate, if you understand bitrate, is low, medium and high. I don't really understand bitrate, but I've kept it on high. And the video format is the MPEG-4 file. It's also Windows Media Player supported, which will be good news for people who want to use their computer to view their footage or even play with editing after they're recorded on the unit. When it takes a picture, it takes JPEG format, so it's a nice large file, as in large quality picture, but only a small file size, which is what you want, because we don't want lots and lots of pictures. If you're taking pictures, filling up your hard drive or your SD card, if that's what you're using. It works on the USB 2, so a lot faster than the old USB 1, and the two cameras it supports is a 5-volt camera DC and a 12-volt camera DC. And it does have ports on the top here, which you'll see later on in close up, for the 12, and on the side for the 5-volt. It comes with 2 batteries as standard, and each battery provides 85 minutes worth of time. So you get plenty of time, 170 minutes in total as standard when you buy the unit, and that is plenty of time, especially if you're going to be using it like me and Davy are, just out shooting. What we did do though is, for an optional £15 we bought a spare battery, so we've now got just over 4 hours worth of recording time. And for people who actually record on the cameras and through their own little mini DVRs, they'll know that 4 hours is plenty, because you'll take the shot and then you'll turn it off, and then you'll wait till you take your next shot. So really, in actual fact, you've probably got 2 or 3 days filming just on the batteries there. Right, so that's a broad look at some of its characteristics. We're now going to pause and move to part 2, when we'll look at the settings, some of the buttons and knobs on the actual unit a lot closer up. So before we go on to actually look at the settings and functions in more detail, we're going to talk about what accessories come as part of the deal when you buy the unit for £500. So let's have a look what comes in the box. You obviously get the English instructions here, an operating manual, the unit itself, and to house the unit and keep it in pristine order and undamaged and scratched, you get this nice canvas case here, which has got a nice piece of Velcro on the front to stop it from falling out, and on the back it's not only got a Velcro adjustable belt loop, it's also got press studs here, and you can basically push the press studs in, and what this means is when the actual Velcro gets old and tired and loses its stickiness some, at least the actual press studs are still holding it, your unit, if it's clamped onto your belt securely, and you're not going to lose it in a field in the night. If you don't want to put it in this case on your belt, or you don't want to put it in this case in your pocket, and you want to put it on maybe a strap from any clothing you've got, or if you've got a day sack on, the strap from the day sack, you get an extra piece of canvas here, which is same again. It's got an adjustable Velcro strap here and the press studs, and you can put them together either Velcro to Velcro or press stud to press stud, and it allows you then to have some sort of pouch what you can fit onto your day sack. As we've said, it comes with 2 batteries, and here they are, the small ones. You can see they're not going to be very heavy, and these are the 2200 mAh batteries, each providing 85 minutes worth of recording time. To charge them, comes with a UK plug. Remember, this is an American system, but you do get the UK plug, which comes with obviously the jack plug on the end, what fits in to the unit itself, and you'll see this a little bit later on. Once it's charging, you get a red light here come on instead of a green light to say it's charging. Once the red light has gone out, it means the battery is fully charged. It does say in the instructions that each battery you put in needs to be charged until the red light goes out for the before you use it on the first time, and I think it's around about 4 hours it's given in the actual instructions. Leads, what it comes with, this comes with 3 different leads, these 3 here. 2 of them are the same, and this is basically an AV lead, so you can go to your television or to some sort of other camera unit, and on the other end it's got a 3.5mm 4-pole jack plug here, and that can fit into the top of the unit there, and that'll work the 12 volt cameras. Get two of them. You also get another lead here, but this time it's an AV lead, but on the end the jack plug is the smaller 2.54 pole camera, jack plug, and this can be used for the smaller cameras like the pinhole covert cameras, or any of the other ones what come with the other smaller mini DVRs like you get with the Angel Eye. And just to show you one, there you can see there's one there, and that's a small sort of like pinhole camera what you could use on this recording unit. As I've said, you can either transfer your data off a USB, off an SD card, or you can use the USB 2 lead what comes with it, and obviously one goes in your computer, the other connects to the actual PV1000 itself, and it's very quick to transfer your footage from one to the other. If you're using it covertly, which we won't be, and you want to play back what you've been recording, then you get a quality set of earplugs here so you can listen. If you're not being covert, you can play it back. You've still got the speaker here, and you can play whatever you've recorded through the speaker, and everyone can hear. You get two male to male connectors, and these will allow your AV leads to be connected together if you've got two females and you want to extend them. And you also get two remote controls. The first one I'm going to show you is this one. This is an infrared remote control, so no leads, and this will allow you to power on the unit, to record, to also play back and change the volume of anything what you're looking at, actually what's been recorded. The one I like though is this one. This is a remote control, but obviously on a lead, and this will fit into the top of the unit, which you'll see a little bit later on. And on it, it's got an on-off button and also a record button, and there's a little clip here, so this can clip onto your gun stock if you're using it in the same way me and Davy would, or somewhere high up, and it's just a case of touching it with your thumb when you want to record. I will bring it a little bit closer, and hopefully you might be able to see it. I'm not sure if you can, it's here because the sun's shining, but there is an on-off button and a record button, and I have been using this throughout the remainder of the review, and it is a fantastic bit of kit. It just keeps everything out of the way. The way I have been using it from a hunter's perspective is I've had the unit itself inside its case, I've had the lead plugged into the top, that up here, and I've just basically turned it on and pressed record, turned it off, and that's how I've gained my footage. So I ain't got to worry about having items of equipment with leads everywhere dragging around the floor, especially when you're climbing barbed wire fences or different obstacles on your shooting permission. What I'm now going to do is pause then, and then we're going to look at the settings in more detail. Right, to turn on the unit then, it's just a simple case of pressing and holding the on-off button here for about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds till you get the green light come on, and then it'll go through its normal boot up and come to the main menu screen. To turn off, it's just the exact opposite. Press and hold for about 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds. The system will say shutting down, and then it'll turn off. It's really quick at starting up and closing down.